Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion on the 23rd of September 2025, and I'm looking at a PlayStation classic and the last wrestling game, or the last good wrestling game on the PS1. Yeah, it's SmackDown 2, Know Your Role. Absolutely fantastic. I've got a lot of good memories with this game. This used to literally live in my PlayStation and back in the day. Just looking at the roster here, it's quite big, isn't it? There's quite a lot of wrestlers here. You'll notice that things like Stone Cold Steve Austin are missing. They're not missing. You have to unlock them. Yes, you have to play through the tournament mode, and they will unlock as you go through. Same as arenas, and there's several unlockables in the game, which is pretty cool, to be honest. But this took SmackDown 1, turned it on its head, and produced this rather good game. Excuse me, I'm a little bit under the weather today, so you have to bear with me if I'm coughy or spluttery or sneezy or bunged up, whatever. It's all coming, it's all been nasty, and yeah, this was supposed to go out. I was planning on doing this yesterday, but I thought I'd haul my butt out of bed and get this done for you guys today, and then I'll go back to bed again, because I feel like crap. So there we go. But yeah, SmackDown, and they couldn't get the Undertaker's theme tune here, by the way. It was done by Limp Bizkit at the time. And they couldn't get the recording rights or the rights to actually have the entrance theme tune available. I think everyone else is in check, though. I think it's just that I think the WWE didn't own the rights to it at the time or something. But yeah, American Badass, I think, was the theme tune, and it's omitted from this game, which is a bit of a shame. But never mind. The game is what we're looking at today, and I've got, like I said, I've got very fond memories of this. When I got the game, I was working at Electronics Boutique at the time, which later became Game, which later became Game Station, and then went back to Game again, just because. Yeah, anyway. So I was working at Electronics Boutique when this was released, same as SmackDown 1, and I was elated to see this, because back in the day, you just had a release list. If you've never worked in the retail sector of a video game store, basically you get a release list in a folder, and that's all you've got. You know there was internet was available, but it was still quite slow, still quite new, and all that jazz. So getting information was literally a piece of paper that had a release date on it. So we were hoping beyond all hopes that these release dates managed to stay as they were. As you know, through history and through time, that we would know with video games is that they get a release date, and sometimes they don't meet that release date. But this one did. This was on time, and it was brilliant seeing these come through. The only thing that I will say about UK PlayStation games is the cases were absolute bollocks. They were literally like massive chunky boxes, whereas I think the States had proper dual cases, like CD cases. We had these big chunky things that just broke if you happened just to tickle one just slightly or breathe on it in a very, very light manner, like that. Plus they took up, like, I think it was like they were about the size of 3 CDs stacked back to back, 3 CD cases, I should say. Yeah, so they took up a lot of room on the shelves as well. But yeah, the Americans had it right for once. Sorry, Americans, you're not having a great time right now. We're not going into that, though. But yeah, they did this right, and they were actually quite nice. And they also had different cover art as well. I've always found that interesting, that the games, not all games, but some games had very, very different case art, and I don't really know why that would have been. But SmackDown 2, prime example, the UK version, which is what I've got in the thumbnail for you to have a look at. That is the UK version, and there is a completely different one for the US. So there you go. Brilliant. Anyway, let's have a look at this lovely game. It's very, very good. The characters are very nice and sort of larger than life sort of thing at the moment. This was the wrestling game which I think we all really wanted before it went onto the PS2 with, is it Know Your Role, I think was the first one? Or was it Shut Your Mouth? No, it's WWF. Looking on my yeah, I don't know. Here Comes the Pain, Shut Your Mouth. Yeah, so there was a few. There was a few. But this was the last one before we entered into the PS2 era. And it's a bloody good game. Lots of it's very arcade paced. So if you're looking for a genuine sort of wrestling simulator, you weren't going to get that until a lot later on. Although you got Power Move Pro Wrestling, which is probably the closest you're going to get to an actual wrestling game, if you like it in that sort of, you know, authentic type. But if you wanted your WWF superstars in all their glory, this was the game to get. Absolutely the game to get. This also introduced a rather fantastic feature called Create a Wrestler, which has basically been in every single wrestling game ever since. This is where you had a chance to create your guys in a unique way without having to use predetermined parts and clothing and all that kind of thing. You could literally make your own guy. As soon as you've done that, the game opens up into a whole new like universe of WWF. You could be you in WWF, and having to go through all of the like you could do your general manager mode, which was you could make your own shows and stuff like that. Titles were able to be defended, and yeah, it was really good. And the entrances were expanded on a little bit as well. So you had the intro video, and you had some sort of like little animation. It didn't go too far into it. I think WWF on the PlayStation 2, I think, introduced proper entrances. But for what it was, this was really good. The only criticism I've got of SmackDown 2 is there's a lot of loading screens like this, and even saving to the memory card like this also takes a little bit of time. So it's the only thing that breaks the immersion a little bit for me. Anyway, I'm going to take you through a match in season mode now, and we'll have a look at that. And you can have a look and see how season works with the character that you select. So you've got create a pay-per-view as well. It's just there were so many options in this game to keep you engaged, and it was a very, very good one. Lots of, like I said, a massive roster of characters as well. So that was nice. There was a few weird ones in there. Bull Buchanan, Stephen Richards sort of thing. I know they were part of the right to censor, but weird decisions. They weren't exactly popular, you know. Anyway, you could make your own. You could get, you know, if you've got an Earthquake and Typhoon, make them yourself. So here's the card for the event. You can see that we are right at the top. Now you've got a choice here that you can click on the next match like this. Now you can either play it or you can skip it. We're going to skip it. Now whenever the screen does this and goes into that sort of star thing, it's going to load in a cutscene, which kind of, I suppose at the time of the immersion, that was how it sort of translated on the TV show. Look, X-Pac is here. It needed to let you know that via a cutscene, but it was very well integrated. It was just the fact that these loading screens had to go in between, and it sort of broke up that immersion just a little bit too much. But back in the day, I don't think we really noticed it. You see here, the game is now simulating who's going to win. It looks like Jeff Hardy is on the winning side. Oh, no, Essa Rios. There you go. And Essa Rios, another weird addition to this game because he wasn't exactly Mr. Popular. Anyway, you can see this is a European title match, and it's against Al Snow and Perry Saturn. The game is now weighing up the odds and who's going to win. Perry Saturn obviously now pulling out some cheap maneuvers because he was absolutely winning that. There we are. So here we go, another cutscene. So you're not guaranteed to have a cutscene every time. It's just now and then. Anyway, sound and music's absolutely fantastic. Graphics are amazing. The animations are fantastic. Really, really on the money here. The sound and the music's great. You've got all the official theme tunes in there. You've got the videos in the background as they make their entrances as well. It's all very, very unique. It's all very authentic. It's very, very good. Now, if you had friends, the options are even better. I will put in a thing at the end of the video where you can see all of the game modes which were selectable. I'm not going to play them, but you'll be able to see them. But there you go. And well, the controls are quite interesting, really. You've got up and down, left and right on the joypad, on the keypad, on the D-pad. Keypad, D-pad, that sound the same to me anyway. And then you've got circle, which was grapple, square, which was block, X, which was punch, and then you had oh goodness, I think it's triangle to run. So there you had all the things there, and then you had L1, which would perform your finishing move when you were in the right position and you had a finisher available. And it just all worked really well. And L2 was your taunt button, by the way. So yeah, lots of fun stuff to do. The grappling system was incredibly easy. Just push a direction and the circle button, and you'll perform a maneuver depending on the situation you're in. So if you're behind them, you'll do a maneuver from the back. If If you're in front of them, you'll do a maneuver from the front, up on the ground. Again, you can also pick them up and break your pin and all that kind of stuff. A circle button was like a multi-use button. There was quite a lot of stuff to do with the circle button. But the controls were very well done, and they did a great job of making sure that the game was incredibly, and here comes the next bit into a segue, playability. It was incredibly playable, probably one of my favourite games of the era at the time, just because I was a massive WWE fan, or WWF fan at the time, and having a few mates around with a multi-tap is just one of the best experiences you can ever have with a game like this. The fact that there was no sort of pressure on you to do anything, you could just have a match, save your game, and then it would remember where everything was, and you could go back to it as and when you wanted to. It just worked really, really well. Now we'll play this match because this is my match, so I am The Rock, and The Undertaker is my opponent on this one. The other thing I like about this game is that there's run-ins. So if you've got, for example, in the first match you saw with Kane and The Undertaker there, Paul Bearer ran down because he's a plum, got in the ring and got smacked out straight away, which was funny. So here we go, they got the intro video there, which was quite cool. Back in the day, this was really something. I mean, we'd been used to sort of WWF Warzone, WWF Attitude on the PlayStation, and they weren't fantastic games. They were good. They were no WWF No Mercy, though. But, you know, for the PlayStation, they were good. And again, having the theme tunes in CD quality sound and the entrance videos in that as well, first time ever that we'd seen that kind of thing. It was quite exciting. But the game itself was a bit pants. But, you know, that's for another review. That's for another time and another place. The replay value on this is insane. You've got so many match types. You could do fantasy matches, dream matches. You could make your own wrestlers. You could put in a whole roster of your own dudes. You could make guys that aren't even in the game. So, you know, the possibilities in the game are absolutely endless. So if you were a wrestling fan back in the day, then this would probably be a game that you would have had on your PlayStation 1. And there's just so much love that's gone into it. And if you've played AEW Fight Forever, just putting it out there, done by the same guys that did this, Yuke's, yeah. So all those people that are complaining about AEW Fight Forever being a crap game, it was actually more faithful to wrestling than most games are these days. I know that the WWE 2K games are visually fantastic. It still needs some updating. We're still not quite there, which is a shame because, you know, I'm on WWE 2K25 at the moment. But I don't know. I prefer to go back and play these. I don't know why, but they're very, very playable and immensely enjoyable. But yeah, so this has been SmackDown 2, Know Your Role, and it's yeah, it's fantastic, and I really hope you guys give it a go. Let me know in the comments if you've played this game, and who was your go-to wrestler at the time. Mine was Stone Cold, but we had to unlock him to be able to play him. But again, that's something that made the game replayable. It's the fact that we had all these things to unlock, and once you'd unlocked them, you had the full game at your disposal, which is even better. So, yeah, give me your memories on this game in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you are a WWF fan. We're going to say WWF because, you know, it always has been the WWF, really, hasn't it? This World Wrestling Entertainment bullshit. It's just ridiculous that the World Wildlife Fund, because of course you associate them with wrestling. Anyway, that is another gripe for another day. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the review. I've really enjoyed playing. It's perked me up a little bit, so great to have done this one. And stay tuned for some more PlayStation reviews coming down the line, and PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. So, until then, my friends, you keep it retro, and as usual, it's bye for now. Bye-bye!
smack. What the Rock is cooking. The Rock says, The Rock says.
Welcome, stranger, I know why you're here. You remember games from the yesteryear, games with pixels and that bleep bloop sound, but boy, they were the very best games in town. We light up the night, neon dreams in our eyes, arcade machines whispering low, pixelated worlds where we all come alive, level up high, let the good times flow. Joystick in hand, where we live in the past, high scores and laughter, we're making it last. With every coin drop, we're forging a bond, in this pixel paradise we'll always respond. Welcome to the Retro Gaming Club, where the 8-bit dreams never fade away. Gaming to the beat of our favorite tunes, let's play till the dawn, we'll never lose. Neon lights shining, we're lost in the glow, in the Retro Gaming Club. Let's go, let's go. Flashback to battles, we'll play side by side, power-ups and hearts, love in disguise. We'll race through the levels, collect all the coins, in this timeless adventure we're waiting to join. Crashing 8-bit beats, igniting the night, from pixels to dreams we'll take flight. With every button pressed, our spirits ignite, in this retro wonderland everything feels right. Welcome to the Retro Gaming Club, where the